I started 2023 by following a Dutch tradition of jumping into the North Sea. In this video you can see me and my uncle making the plunge to start off the new year with a nice and cool fresh start. After spending a few days with my Dutch family, I returned to the farm where I was currently working. In the rest of this video, I will share a bit of my life on the potato farm as well as my decision to make the move back to America to start a crazy and hopefully exciting job. This here is the large barn where I would start my work at 8 a.m. While I was working here, I got to witness the journey of the potato that made it from the cellars to the trucks and then off to who knows where. Let me now give you a quick rundown over the journey of a potato. First, it's dumped into a large container. It moves then from the container to a conveyor belt where it travels to the top of the barn. From the top of the barn, the potatoes would be sorted into their proper sizes and dropped into big containers. Once the containers are full, they are emptied, and once again the potatoes make their process up to the top of the barn. And that's where I come in. I sit next to this conveyor belt and get rid of all the bad potatoes. And just as proof, here's a few pictures of me faithfully sorting the potatoes. After the final assortment, the potatoes would need to be bagged and sacked for distribution. Some of the potatoes went into big sacks, and other potatoes were organized onto smaller sacks and onto pallets. When we had more potatoes than we could sell, we'd store them in boxes and put them in a cool place. And my favorite day was the selling day because it was just kind of cool to see them fill up the trucks with so many freaking potatoes. Although sorting potatoes was my main job, we also spent the days doing a lot of other cool things like visiting this futuristic potato sorting farm where we got to see the future of potato sorting. And I also spent some time building an old barn door and fixing up some lids for something like a fuel tank or a pressure vessel or something like that. And outside of work, I also had some really awesome bike rides and adventures. I'm biking to the farm of some distant Dutch relative ancestors. It's like my opa's opa, which is my grandfather's grandfather's grandfather, dating back to 1755. Right there behind me is the house. I need to look into the history, but I believe it is the farmhouse from Jan Feitsma, my grandfather's grandfather's grandfather, from 1755. Now I'm coming back from my trip to the farm, and see that? I got some milk from a local farmer. Can't wait to drink it. My time on the potato farm was pretty awesome. I got to connect to my Dutch roots, which is half of my blood. I made some new friends. I got to see some awesome cities and do some incredible bike rides. However, I also realized that living on this farm was only a temporary fix. I needed to make like a more solid plan. Pretty soon, I started to think about my next move. After going back and forth between a whole bunch of different ideas, I ended up asking a friend about wildland firefighting. And one thing led to another. I started getting all the required certifications to do this, to be eligible for the work, and then although I wasn't immediately matched with the fire department, I still got flights to go back to the States with the hope that I would get selected. Last day in the Netherlands? No, last week on the farm in the Netherlands. Watching the Dutch farm scape, hanging out with my buddy. Getting ready to take the train to a cousin where I will stay 2 nights and then leave to Schiphol to get to America. Here at the train stop of the small village where I've been staying, Gripskerk, and soon heading off to Utrecht to make my way back to the USA to live the American dream, baby. Let's go. I feel really melancholy, actually. I'm gonna really miss this place. Soundstripe. You can see the New York skyline in there in the background. Just got back to America, and I have a funny feeling inside of me. I just got news that I got accepted to be a wildland firefighter this summer, which is really good news. So I got this job in firefighting. However, the job did not start until June 18th. So I was in the US March 1st, and I would have 3 weeks to try and figure out what to do. I started just quickly hustling to try and make a little bit of money. Second day in America, March 2nd, and I'm off to check out a cool ranch where I will be doing some construction work for about a week. So goal is to quickly try and save up a little bit of money, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping I can get like a cheap beater vehicle for a while that will just get me through 8 months. What a beautiful space. I'm over here doing a little bit of construction work, fixing up the stairs. I'm about to buy a car. It's gonna be sweet. Just wait and see. My beautiful car. So I'm off to work, just got a job working with someone, and I'm gonna be late because I miscalculated the time. The job that I'm driving to here was all pretty good, under the table pay. We were building barns. Unfortunately, the work was on and off, and it was sometimes dangerous. Over the weekends, I worked on food delivery, and I kept applying to different jobs until I pretty soon found a job in concrete. 2023. And I am at a construction site. We got a job building a gas station. Yesterday was a 14-hour day. We're laying concrete. It's pretty dang busy. Here's a super beautiful view from my first day of work. Right from the get-go, we were pretty busy, maybe a little too busy because I was low on sleep one day on my way to work, and I accidentally crashed and totaled my car. April 24, 2023. I just totaled my vehicle. I'm gonna need to get a new vehicle or something. Here is my crashed vehicle. It no longer starts. Of course, I really needed a vehicle, and thankfully, I was able to use my mom's Toyota Sienna. I continued working with concrete until May 10. We fixed some plumbing problems in a federal building in Denver, Colorado. We laid a foundation for an elementary school. The finished product, not quite. Our biggest job was definitely a come and go gas station. We laid a bunch of curb there. We also laid a lot of sidewalk. We laid the foundation for the gas station itself. But unfortunately, the team ended up getting fired from the gas station job. It was rumored, apparently, that we were the slowest team they had ever seen in concrete. So it was a real bummer, of course, but probably one of the best parts was being able to work with the team that I was on. They were a really cool group of people to be around. Two of the guys you can see in some videos gambling whenever there was a small break. And yeah, in the end, I had to, of course, quit, and that led me to get ready for my job in Wyoming. A lot happened between finishing my concrete job and going to Wyoming. Back from my motorcycle ride. Crashed that motherfucker 3 times. I was going to take the motorcycle with me to Wyoming, so I quickly needed to get that fixed. My injuries were not very serious, and pretty soon I got the motorcycle up and running with my little brother. The motorcycle is a little bit smashed. I'm gonna get that fixed today. Brake line's broken. That's the biggest thing I'm gonna need to learn to fix, but I think we'll get it done. It brakes pretty good. Oh yeah, getting some good skiddies on it. It looks like a motorcycle from Mad Max. After we fixed the brakes, we went ahead and got a new light because the old one was pretty bent up. and we
Can you hold it on
replaced
there and
that
see
as
what it looks
well.
like? I think that's gonna look cool. It's gonna look better than the original. Here I am at a car wash in Colorado Springs. The day before I go to take a trip to visit Jaron in New York, and then a week after that I head over to Wyoming. March 3, 2023, off to visit my brother in New York.
Just made it to New York last night, or this morning very early, and woke up a little jet lagged in my brother's apartment in New York, Poughkeepsie. Visiting my brother in New York was of course very fun because I love my brother, and you can see here in a second him trying to cross this plank, which I made a bet that if he would make it all the way to the top, I would give him something like some sort of money or some sort of thing. I don't know, but he didn't make it.
June 9, 2023, last day in New York with my brother.
It is June 12, 2023, and I am getting ready to go to Wyoming tomorrow to start the firefighting thing. I was gonna take a motorcycle, I had it all ready to go, and then I started just feeling really unwell about taking a motorcycle there. Like, look at this weather. I don't want to be driving in this weather, and so I found a car for really cheap. You can kind of tell it's cheap just by the way it looks. But yep, that's the plan. Tomorrow to Wyoming, then once I'm in Wyoming, like a few days later, start the firefighting. Stay tuned for the next edition to see if my car holds up and to see how the firefighting job went.